By discussion learning event, we mean all those activities that encourage students to formulate questions, arguments, and counter-arguments, while critically and reflectively evaluating different points of view. Starting and sustaining a productive discussion is an extremely challenging activity for students, but the learning outcomes should not be underestimated. In fact, in an educational context, discussion not only enables a deep and structured understanding of the content necessary to support one's own arguments, but also fosters the development of transversal skills. The collaborative aspect is inherent here, but the communicative and negotiation dimensions are equally important. To this is added the easy connection to other learning events, which makes the student's experience more complete and profound. Among these, elaboration and metacognition are certainly the most closely related, serving as the pre- and post-phases of the learning event within the discussion. Among the most widespread teaching methodologies is certainly debate, in which two teams alternate presenting pros and cons on a given topic. But it's not the only one. Other examples include structured discussions in pairs, in groups, or at the whole class level, as well as discussions led by the students themselves or left entirely open. We can therefore see how the learning event in a discussion involves various organizational methods and types of interaction between the nodes of the network and can be structured according to different techniques and rules. Here too, the possibilities are numerous. We will see how institutional educational channels and platforms available to teachers and students can truly be a powerful tool for envisioning new learning experiences and fully supporting the teacher's instructional design. So, how can a teacher incorporate this specific learning event into their course? A first example could be one in which the teacher presents the content in class, perhaps through particularly interactive lessons that involve collecting highly interactive contents, and then allow students to independently elaborate what was covered together. For the next in-person lesson, the teacher could then plan a moment of pair discussion to delve deeper into certain topics and engage the students. But be careful, in-person attendance is not the only option. The teacher can achieve the same result by also making use of other classroom scenarios, shifting the discussion moment online. Synchronous through breakout sessions or breakout rooms. Asynchronous via forums or other specific applications. Let's now try to think of an example where discussion is a key moment and not just a side element in achieving the expected learning outcomes. How can the teacher design a part of their course with this in mind? We can imagine cases where content collection carried out online asynchronously is followed by the independent completion of a short group project. And it is at this point that the teacher can consider introducing the discussion. For example, they can ask students to summarize their project work in a short audio-video recording to be submitted and shared with their peers, so that everyone gains an overall view of what each group has done. With this foundation, the teacher can structure a discussion involving the entire class during the next in-person lesson. They might propose a cross-cutting topic for the students to tackle. For example, starting from these projects, all of which are valid, which one could be the most sustainable from an environmental, administrative, or technical point of view? What factors should be taken into consideration when making this choice? The outcome of the discussion can then serve as a starting point to introduce other content into the course, or to initiate a process of reflection and metacognition on the project, or on each student's overall learning experience. In doing so, the focus would not be on the completed project itself, which would instead remain a formative preparatory activity, but rather on the exchange among students that the discussion facilitates. In this sense, the learning event within the discussion can therefore serve a preparatory, in-depth, or reflective function, depending on the approach the teacher chooses to take for the activity.